Hello, welcome back to your mat. Today we are going to work on forward folding, which is helping us to turn inward, look inside a bit more, and be a bit more reflective. And we're also going to do that by, we're going to start out in a pose, and then throughout the class we're going to open ourselves up, and we're going to try that pose again at the end of class to see if we can see a difference. So that's where we're going with today's class. You might need a block or potentially blocks, but probably just one would work just fine, or none at all. We can modify without the blocks. So if you have blocks, great. If you don't worry about it. We'll start with a quote by Brene Brown. Only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of our light. So when we're looking inward, keep that in mind. You kind of sometimes may come up against things that you don't really want to deal with or you don't want to find. So just notice throughout today's class, don't judge it. So we're going to start out in the pose that we're going to finish the class with. So you're going to find that you're going to be a little bit more tight to start out with, and that's fine. So sit up tall and stretch both of your legs out long on the mat here, out wide. Now wide here is relative, so you may find this is where you are to start with. Find what works comfortably for you. Don't try to do your most wide-legged seated forward fold you've ever done here. This is our starting point. So most of us haven't done any yoga maybe for the day, so we might be a little bit tighter. So find where you are. Sit here, and I just want you just to notice where you are. Notice about how wide your legs are, and then inhale and get tall, and then just come forward any amount. And for most of us, it's not going to be very far, especially since we haven't really warmed up. This is the stage where we're noticing. So just notice, no judgment, where you are. So again, your legs might be closer in, but you want to go with flex toes. So find that where you are. Notice that. Take a mental picture, and let's get started. So go ahead and bring your knees in together, and we're going to stand at the top of our mat and do some half sun salutations just to warm our hamstrings up, which is going to help us for that pose. So here, if you need a block to come forward and halfway lift, go ahead and grab that. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinging forward. Come on down toward the mat and fold in. Definitely have a bend in your knees if you're really tight here. Inhale, halfway lift, look out in front of you. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, come all the way back up, reaching up, and exhale, arms in. Two more. Inhale, reach up, exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, come all the way back up, and exhale, your hands to your chest. Once more. Inhale, reach up, exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift, the flat back. Exhale and fold in. Inhale and come all the way back up, reaching up toward the sky. And exhale and bring your arms down in front of your chest. From here, we're now going to come into a little bit of a flow here. So we're going to skip the planks and all that because we're working really toward that pose that I showed you at the beginning. So inhale here and go ahead and step that right foot back into warrior one. So the right foot is going to come back. Your left foot is still forward, and your left knee is bent. Your hips are square to the front of the room, and my right foot is about a 45-degree angle off to the side here, off to the right. Inhale, get tall. You can raise your arms up overhead. You can keep the arms down your sides. You can interlace. Go into cactus, whatever your arms are calling for today. Don't get hung up on how your arms are. Just pick which one you want. Nice inhale and exhale here. And now we're going to open up into warrior two. So I'm going to go ahead and move my left foot over a bit more, bring that right foot back. Now I have my heel to arch alignment, and now I'm in warrior one. So again, arms can stay on your sides. You can come into cactus, interlace behind you, or in the standard warrior two pose here with your arms out. Take a nice inhale and exhale here. And then we're going to turn both of our feet so now they are parallel on the mat. You may need a block for this one. I'll go ahead and put it out here in front just to show you this one for this one. So go ahead and have your feet are parallel and your legs are wide. Inhale and get tall. Exhale, hinge forward at your hips. And either reach for that block, your hands down to the floor, whatever you need to do. Inhale and get nice and tall here, coming out of your spine here. And then exhale and just do a nice, simple forward bend. Don't overdo it here. We're still warming up. Give yourself a stretch, and you can always bend the knees slightly if you need to make this a little bit easier on your hamstrings. Inhale, we're going to come all the way back up. And now we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to go to the back of our mat in this case. So go ahead and turn. Your right foot now is going to be bent. Bring that left foot around to warrior one. So now you are now squared to the back of your mat, I should say. Left toes or left feet is in a foot, not feet, foot is a 45-degree angle, and your right leg is bent here into warrior one. So again, whatever arm variation you'd like today, pick that and go with it. I'm going to leave my arms down for a little bit because my shoulder's been bothering me. Breathe here and exhale. And then go ahead and adjust your stance to in warrior two. So now you're keep your that right leg is bent, and now you're in warrior two. Heel to arch alignment going on here. And bring your arms up into any variation that works best for you. So get a nice warrior two going. Inhale, and then let's exhale. Now turn both of your feet, and you've guessed we're going to come through this pose. This is going to be our base pose to go through. So we are parallel, wide legs. Inhale, get nice and tall. Exhale, hinge forward, coming out of your hips. Inhale and look out in front of you. And then exhale and fold in any amount. And again, bend those knees. Do what you need to do to make this pose more accessible. Take another inhale and exhale and come all the way back up. And now we're going to go back to the left hand or the left side again. Come back into your warrior one. So we're going to do that again and add another pose at the end of that one. So go ahead and square your hips here and have your arms in whatever shape you would like them to be in. Whatever works best for you today. Inhale, get tall there. Exhale. And then we're going to open up into our warrior two. So adjust your stance, heel to arch alignments going on here. Your left leg is forward and bent. Breathe here, nice and deep. Sink a little deeper into that left knee if you can, that left leg. And then you're going to straighten that left leg. And you might need to bring this back foot in just a little bit. And we're going to hinge forward, reaching forward like you're almost holding a tray out. And we're going to come into triangle pose. This is where a block might come in handy. You might want to give yourself a little bend here in your knee if you like. Or if you don't have a block, just put your hand down on your shin here. And that right arm will go up top, up toward the sky. Breathing here. And then we'll come all the way back up, and then go ahead and turn both of your toes facing forward. So now, both of your toes, both of your feet, all of your toes. So they're facing forward here, and we're in this nice wide-legged stance again. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, hinging at your hips, come forward. And inhale, go ahead and halfway lift and look out in front of you. And then exhale. This time when we inhale, we're exhaling and we're going to fold in. We're turning inward. So forward folds are symbolic in a way, and it is. We're folding in on ourselves. We're literally coming into ourselves here. So I want you just to notice what might come up, what you might be feeling or thinking, what emotions might be going through your mind. Again, don't judge them. Just notice them. This is a no judgment zone. We're just noticing what we're feeling and how we are. And then go ahead and come all the way back up. And now we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to go ahead and turn that right knee out and have it bent. Bring your left leg around. So you're now into warrior one stance on the front. Your hips are square to the front of the room. Again, pick the arm variation that works best for you. Cactus, arms up, whatever, or just have them dangle. It can be whatever it needs to be for your today. You can not have your arms involved at all if you don't like to. So inhale here for a moment. Get nice and tall. So really feel that stretch. And now we're going to adjust our stance and open up into a warrior two pose. So go ahead and get your heel to arch alignment going here. Inhale and bring those arms up out in front of you or out to the sides, or you can leave the arms out of it. You decide. Go ahead and inhale here and exhale and sink a little deeper into that right leg that's bent. Give yourself a nice inhale and exhale here. And then you're going to straighten that right leg. And now bring that, you might want to bring in your back leg a bit. And you're going to reach forward as if you're handing a tray of something good to a friend and come on into triangle pose. You can always bend your knee a little bit if you need to. Bring that right arm down to a block, your shin or the floor if you're feeling that, and the left arm stretched up overhead. Nice, big, tall stretch here. Really open that chest, open yourself up here. And then inhale and come all the way back up. Go ahead and turn those toes once more. All your toes are pointed forward. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, go ahead and hinge forward. Bring your hands down to the mat. Inhale, look out in front of you. And exhale and fold in. Again, take these moments for folding in as a time for reflection. Time to look inside and see how you're feeling. Are you judging yourself because maybe you're just really tight, you're not able to come into the pose like you want? Really notice what you're feeling and thinking. And again, don't judge it, but notice. This is a moment to reflect and turn inward. Listen to our inner landscape, so to speak. And then inhale and come all the way back up. And now we're going to come seated. So come on down, have yourself a seat, and bring the soles of your feet together for bound angle pose. Sit up here and get nice and tall in this seat. I'm going to adjust myself here a little bit. Inhale, get tall. And exhale, we're going to hinge ourselves forward just a tad. Doesn't have to be a lot here. And notice, are you judging yourself? Are you feeling like, why can't I go forward more? Why am I more upright? Just notice. It's perfectly okay to do that. It's part of human nature. So you might be more upright. So find where you are. And especially if your knees are really high up here, then you're going to want to stay upright and work toward bringing those knees down carefully, but keeping a flat back. So you have to pick what works for your body today. So again, we're folding inward a bit here. We're coming inward and noticing our inner landscape. What do you notice? You find yourself going, oh, I can do this pose. This is great. I love it. Or maybe you're judgmental of yourself. It's okay. Just notice. Now come on up. Stretch that right foot out long on your mat, nice and wide. Sit here for just a moment. Keep these right toes flexed. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale, we're going to hinge forward just a tad. We're not going crazy here. Come to your edge where you feel the sensation, no pain, but sensation. Inhale, come back up. And now, we're actually going to bring this back into bound angle for just a brief moment. So both of your soles of your feet are touching each other. And now we're going to stretch that left foot out long on the mat. Have our left toes will be flexed. Sit up, get nice and tall. Exhale and hinge forward any amount. Find that point where you're like, yeah, I feel a sensation, but again, you don't want to feel pain here. And now, go ahead and sit up. And now we're going to stretch, you guessed it, the right leg out. So find what is good for you. Sit up tall here. You want to be more on your sit bones, so try not to be rounded and tucked under. You want to be more up on the sit bones. So kind of bring your sit bones back a bit in space. Toes are flexed and pointed here. Inhale. And now exhale and hinge forward any amount. Now if you are you're really tight, then stay upright. But exhale now. Fold forward any amount. Come to your edge where you feel that sensation. And notice, does this particular pose feeling different than it did from the beginning of class? Keeping in mind that this was a short class. This is not an hour-long session where you would become even a lot more open. So I'm just, in these shorter classes, I'm trying to show the difference from the beginning of class and at the end. Just 15 minutes even can make a difference in how much further you can come down. So I can tell I'm able to come a lot further down. You may be able to and you may not. And if you are not able to, try not to be judgmental of that. Just know that you might need a little bit more of these. Maybe you need to go through that whole sequence a couple more times and then see where you are. You can always do that. So take a breath here. Go ahead and let your head drop for a moment. And again, you're bowing into yourself. You're giving yourself permission to reflect and listen to what you might be what your body might be saying to you, or what you might be saying to yourself, whatever it is. Just listen, just notice, but try not to judge it. And let's do another inhale and exhale. And come all the way back up. Bring your knees together, fold them in, and come seated. If you have the time, I highly encourage you to lay back in a Savasana. So go ahead and lay back on your mat, Stretch your legs out, your arms out, and just let yourself go into the mat completely. Let the earth and the mat itself support you. So just go into that mat and let yourself go if you have the time. Stay there for a few minutes and let the effects of your practice wash over you. If you don't have the time, totally understand. And so we can get moving on then. So I hope this class was helpful for you. I hope it was helpful to see from the beginning of class to the end, even in a short amount of time, maybe how much more open you are. And if you didn't see a big difference, try going through the sequence, like I said, a couple more times, and then see if you see a difference. So thank you again for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed it. And until next time.